Hello, I'm Marcus V. Calvert, and welcome to Tales Unlimited, the disturbing thought of the day. Huh. What if you mixed Star Trek and the MCU? Like Marvel, like even Fox. Let's go mutiny here. Old school X-Men, or Avengers, or just the Marvel Universe with Star Trek, with Babylon 5, with the Orville, right? Um, Somehow, some way, there's that golden age of superheroes. Humans pick up superpowers. Fast forward centuries. I'd say maybe you have a 1 in 3 chance of having superpowers. And if you really want them, you can have yourself genetically augmented. But it's the supers who made everything doable. Like they kept humanity from being extinct. They were smart enough to figure out hyperdrives for us. They were smart enough and strong enough to defend us as we pioneered into other planets that weren't as perfectly Earth-like as we thought, and helped us survive against multiple threats. And then we come across hostile alien races and all this other stuff, and that is that of it. You literally just have book after book after book after a certain point where you have colonies of people and they're protected by military who happen to be superhumans. That's kind of sick. Like, if you have superpowers, you have to do a tour of service. It's just expected. They pay you, or you put you through college. They give you some sort of nice reward, like maybe shades of Starship Troopers, but I don't want to go there. More like, okay, if you do this, you get a pension or something like that. You get something nice. But we need you. We'll always need supers. And I don't have a particular plot line, just that. That's my disturbing thought. And maybe there's this federation of planets, and they're like, wow, you're fascinating, you humans. Would you like to join us? And like in the Orville and Star Trek, this federation of planets is kind and benign. This one's not. This one's not at all. This one is evil and twisted, and they like you supers because their races don't have the flexible genetic structure for augmentation. Yours does. So you'd make an excellent addition to their military and their intention to conquer the world. So you literally have heroes versus evil Starfleet. That is messed up. It's like, okay, we have superior technology. We have all these fancy tools. We can do all this other stuff. And the heroes like, that's nice. We have we have a Hulk, or B, we have super geniuses, or 3, we may even have a Sorcerer Supreme somewhere, depending on how super these supers are. Wink. And who would win that fight? Okay, you have humans with some space technology. They have the basics, and they start losing colony worlds and they start heading for Earth. But it turns into a guerrilla war. Maybe we find allies who hate these guys, and it turns into a proper throwdown. But at the brunt of our offense, our main secret, not so secret weapon, are supers, and they're not all heroic, not at all. I mean, could you imagine a starship where the crew is okay? Say you have a starship of maybe 5,000, and half of them are supers, and they're flying at something that's massive, and it's like, just board them. All you have to do is board them. Done. All right, teleporters, we're in range. Do your thing. And they board a ship with a crew 8 times the size, and they take the damn ship intact. And they figure out how to fly it, how to bypass the security inside of 3 days, because the eggheads get to work. Oh, someone has probably done this by now, but in case someone hasn't, this at the very least will be a prompt, but I would get a kick out of this. If this has been done, please let me know. I would read that book. I would read that series or watch that movie. I don't think anyone's done this yet. Wouldn't surprise me, because that's kind of where I go when I come up with these disturbing thoughts of the day. Wow. Comic books versus Starfleet. Evil Starfleet. How do you beat them? That's definitely a series. Okay, well, I'm Marcus V. Calvert. This is Tales Unlimited. Please check out talesunlimited.net. If you like how I think, maybe you like how I write. Short story anthologies, 25 to a book, Twilight Zone style. Something like, oof, golly. What if, oh, you're a normal kid reading about a superhero, supervillain fight that happened in an art museum the night before. Well, guess what? Your mom was involved in that fight as a supervillain, and your dad was involved as the superhero in that fight. And they haven't told you because your powers haven't manifested yet. That's how I write. Also, the I-Villain series, Think Sin City with Superpowers. Fourth book went out a couple years ago. I'm working on the fifth one now. Think, well, what happened if in the midst of a place worse than Gotham, you have a supervillain who's forced to fight crime and gets into the world-saving business? And then there's the Battery series. 200 prompts to a book. It's good for anyone looking to become a writer, like get into the novel business, maybe write short stories, maybe an evil GM looking for things to torment players with, or for grizzled veteran writers, like let's say you've written novels or you're writing screenplays, you're designing games, you need ideas. I'd recommend Battery. Ooh, my prompts are wicked. All right, until next time, take care of yourselves, folks.